We're at Saturday night's main event and we kick off the show in style with the Women's Tag Team Championship match between Rio and the Judgment Day. And whilst Rio has the strength and Io has the speed and agility, they aren't as slimy as Liv and Roxanne, as because of their cheap tactics, they manage to overwhelm and isolate Io Sky. But no matter what they throw at her, she just won't stay down, so Io is eventually able to fight back just enough for her to tag in Rhea Ripley. And she's a house on fire, even riptiding Liv Morgan, who just manages to kick out. And this makes her incredibly desperate, as she even tries to roll up Mari, which fails at putting her away. So she looks for an oblivion, though Rhea stays up, forcing Liv to elbow her away out of her grasp, subsequently co-breaking her down. But this doesn't do the trick either, so she tries for the oblivion once more, as Rhea moves out of harm's way and manages to nail a second riptide, with Roxanne Perez having to break up the pin. So Io Sky deals with her, as after sending her out of the ring, she hits a diving moonsault onto a Prodigy, as from here, Rhea puts Liv in the electric chair position, allowing for Io to nail an avalanche Spanish Fly, and with the moonsault to Liv Morgan, Rio retain. They are still your Women's Tag Team Champions, but who can dethrone them? Well, before we find out, it's time to find out who will leave Toronto as WWE Women's Champion. Will it be Jordynne Grace, or will it be Jade Cargill? Well, the match is on, and it's just a pure wrestling affair, as the two constantly trade big power moves left, right and centre, as both continuously try and prove they are stronger than the other, which continues all the way till the finish of the match, as Jordynne Grace looks for and nails the rolling Death Valley driver, but this doesn't keep the storm from coming, as she kicks out. So Jordynne goes for it one more time, though this time, no one's home, as Jade blocks this with a trio of elbows, and she follows this up with a humongous bicycle kick, leaving the Juggernaut rock to her core, leaving her wide open to be jaded, as she gets hit by Cargill's finishing blow, but she kicks out. The Storm can't believe it, although Jordynne is on her last legs, as she demands for Jade Cargill to bring it, which she does, nailing another bicycle kick before planting out one last Jaded to pick up the win and retain the WWE Women's Championship. Jade Cargill is still on top of the mountain, but who the hell can overthrow her? Well, before we find out, it's time to find out who will challenge Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble. And naturally, given the talent involved, it's an absolute banger. Sammy flies all over the place, Randy back suplexes everyone on the announcer's table, Damian Priest takes huge risks for huge rewards, and Trick Williams is as cunning as ever. But only one man can punch their ticket to the Rumble, so who will it be? Well, it won't be Trick Williams, who gets chokeslammed for the announcer's table. However, Damian Priest gets taken out shortly after with a RKO out of nowhere courtesy of Randy Orton. But Damian Priest kicks out, so Randy backs up for the punt, leading to him getting haluva kicked by Sami Zayn, who then goes over to Damian Priest to nail a huge blue thunderbomb to pick up the win. Sami Zayn is going to the Royal Rumble, and he's going to face Drew McIntyre in Saudi Arabia. But can he finally finish his story and win the WWE Championship? Well, before we find out, it's now time for the main event of the evening, as it's time for Cody Rhodes to take on Jacob Fatu, who will stand tall while the match is on, and Cody immediately nails a crossroads on a Jacob, but all this gets him is a 1 count, and he rises from the ashes too quickly, so the American Nightmare sends us more werewolf to the outside, nailing a dive not once, but twice, and it damn sure wasn't nice. But Jacob is still getting up, so Cody nails a springboard crossbody onto the outside onto him, picking him up and chucking him into the barricade, which only leads to him being swung into the steel steps, as Jacob Fatu follows this up with a scoop slam onto the hardest part of the ring, and wastelands him onto the reconstructed commentary desk. Then he goes up to the heavens, crossbodying Cody Rhodes to the outside, and following another dive, this time off the apron. After getting back into the ring, Cody is able to fight back. And whilst this Cody cutter misses the first time, it doesn't the second, as he tries for the cover again, and again, he only gets a 1 count. And this story continues throughout the rest of the match. Whenever Cody nails a big move, Jacob manages to kick out, leaving Cody having to dig deep into his reserves, even connecting a vertebraker. Still not getting the job done, so he goes for one last crossroads, leading to him being quite literally chucked out of the ring. Cody may be done, though he survives the 10 count. But can he survive the subsequent double swing moonsault? Well, yes, he can. Cody Rhodes lives, and he has one last fight left in him, rolling out of harm's way as he nails 1 crossroads. Then he nails a second, completing the trifecta with the 3rd. Though the move that finished this story at WrestleMania 40 can't keep Jacob Fatu down tonight. Cody is shook, so he just demands for a fight, a last stand, and they trade punches for chops, continuously going back and forth between the pair. But Jacob is able to overwhelm the American Nightmare, chucking him into a corner, putting him onto the top rope as he suplexes him to the concrete floor. Yet he's still not done, putting the done former WWE champion on the announcer's table as a Samoan werewolf breaks in again. As with this, he nails his own trifecta of double spring moonsaults, as after the 3rd, he goes into the cover and wins. Cody Rhodes has suffered back-to-back losses, and Jacob Fatu has the momentum to perhaps win the Royal Rumble. But can he do this? Well, we're just gonna have to wait and see. As if you like this story, I think this might interest you.